In 1805, before emancipation, before the steel pen rang out in resistance, before calypso carried out pain in song, a fire was lit deep within the enslaved of Trinidad, a rebellion inspired by Haiti's victory, fueled by centuries of brutality. But the colonial elites did everything to silence it, to erase it, to make us forget. This is the story of the 1805 uprising in Trinidad, a story drenched in blood, bravery, and terror. It began with whispers, messages passed in the shadows, drums beating quietly in the night. Across plantations, chained Africans coordinated in secret. Their goal? Freedom. At the heart of the movement was Kwamina, a respected enslaved man, likely of Akan descent, a strategist, a warrior. His allies? Attiba, the spiritual leader, and Obeahman, and Jean-Baptiste, a maroon fighter trained in guerrilla warfare. Together, they dared to challenge the empire. They struck at night, attacking plantations, rising against the colonists, determined to break their chains. But the colonists answered with horror. The rebellion was crushed in days. Troops, militias, and even some free men of color joined the suppression. What followed was psychological warfare. Kwamina was captured, hanged, then quartered. His body parts displayed on plantations as a warning. Attiba was burned alive in public, punished for practicing Obeah, a chilling message. Fear your gods. Fear us more. Jean-Baptiste was hunted through the forests, captured, executed. His dismembered body spread across the island like a grotesque signpost. More than 40 enslaved people were executed in just 1 week. Some were hanged, others burned, heads placed on spikes, bodies left to rot in public squares. This was no justice. This was theater, a spectacle of fear, to keep the rest in chains. Executions took place in towns across Trinidad, Port of Spain, Chaguanas, San Fernando. They made sure everyone saw. But we must never forget the women, warriors in silence, messengers, spiritual protectors, providers. One rebel, Amba, was flogged nearly to death for feeding the fighters, but she survived and helped build an underground resistance. After the rebellion, the colonists tightened their grip. No gatherings, no drums, no obeah, no movement without permission. Even speaking of freedom became a crime. But they couldn't crush the spirit. The memory of Kwamina, Attiba, Jean-Baptiste, and Amba lived on. More revolts were planned, more uprisings attempted. And then, finally, in 1834, slavery was abolished in the British Caribbean. Their names were meant to be forgotten. But we remember, we speak their names, we honor them, because Trinidad's story is not just carnival and steel pan. It's also rebellion, sacrifice, and survival. Let Kwamina's strategy, Attiba's spirit, Jean-Baptiste's fire, and Amba's resilience live on in us. This is Calypso Toses. Subscribe, like, and share if you believe these stories must be told. Comment the name of a rebel below, because their memory is ours to keep alive.